Hello, Sag. Hey, Sagittarius. This is your reading for the post-Lionsgate energy and into September, okay? What's coming through for everybody and for the collective as I did my kind of collective forecast for my collaboration meditation product that I'm a part of, which I need to start linking in these videos. I'll have to try and do that if I remember. What's coming through is that this energy is going to carry us through up to the 14th, 15th of September, because that's when the energy is going to shift big time again. And they're not letting me see that yet because we have not chosen yet. We've got two timelines in front of us. We haven't chosen which one yet. They're both positive. I promise you, they're both, neither one of them is an AI controlled prison matrix reality. I promise. That one fell away a long time ago. Yes, there was one. Just like the sci-fi movies. But anyway, so let's get going in your reading, Sagittarius. And under the 13 Zodiac system, I am a Sagittarius sun, so I am very interested to see what's coming through. What I want to do this month, a little bit different, I'm pulling an overall energy card using this beautiful Magdalene Oracle deck. So we're going to do that first, and then we'll switch decks to my Fairy Forest. And then at the end, we will use this beautiful Illuminate deck that I'm going to link how to buy one below. They are so worth the money. They're a beautiful, just kind of plain and simple, but they're just exquisite in their simplicity. I mean, they're gorgeous. They have simple messages on them. They feel like recycled cardboard, which I absolutely love. I love that. And I've got a lot of shiny decks. It's kind of nice to have a more raw, natural feeling deck. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So let's start, Sagittarius, by pulling an overall energy card for Sagittarius in their highest good, please. Yeah. I knew that was coming from the end. Oh, look at this. You got Magdalene. Lots of divine feminine coming through for you. That is really showing up in a big way for so many signs. You guys, this is my 7th, 8th. What is this? 3, 6, 7. My 7th, I believe, reading. Anyway, this is showing up really, not this card specifically, but just divine feminine, and not, we've been doing a lot of divine feminine healing. So what's coming through when I'm tuning into this is that this is the divine feminine helping bring the divine masculine through. Okay, even though the masculine isn't anywhere on this card, this is the message that's coming through strong for everybody. And you are no different, Sagittarius. Okay, you've got a lot of energy of the divine feminine and the masculine finally agreeing on something within. I'm talking about within, right? Finally coming together in some way. Okay, they've been at war inside us, right, for so long. We're finally, the masculine is finally calmed down enough to pay attention and to listen to the feminine and to follow the feminine into the heart space. Okay, that's what your overall message is. And I love that. And we're going to clarify that even more. This is what I'm going to use to begin your grid. All right, I need to go through this, and I don't read reverse because I don't organize my decks beforehand, and they're all, there's a lot of those are the same, but there are some that they're all over the place. They're upright and upside down and whatever. But anyway, so we're going to get the first 3 cards early, mid, late. So we're starting here after the portal closes, which it's the 11th, very early. Ooh, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Right now it is just after midnight. For me on the 11th, 1, 2, 3, 4 is a great sign, Sagittarius. You are moving forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. But it's the 11th, so the portal closes tomorrow sometime. Officially, and then that energy coming in by the 13th is going to feel different. Okay, and so I'm going from the 13th through up to the 15th of September for most of the signs is what's coming through. So let's see what you've got, Sag. Let's do the first 3. Let's do the main cards for each row. Let's do the first 3 all at once. All at once. Give me the early, mid, and late cards for Sagittarius in their highest good, please. Yeah, that feels better. Woo! So a lot of signs are getting this beautiful Freyer card. This is your first card. that if you're not already in this energy, you should be coming into it in the next few days. This Lionsgate portal really served you, Sagittarius. You're coming out the other side feeling incredibly sovereign, more sovereign and centered and balanced and in your energy, in your body than ever before. And that's beautiful. Again, this masculine, this coming through, he's the king and she's the queen, right? Yeah, they're not divine counterparts, but that's okay. This energy coming through is a divine balance within, divine union within. And so you're really doing that beautifully. You're bringing him through the heart space. And this, these poinsettias, they're poinsettias behind him, which always makes me think of Christmas, which makes me think of Yeshua, which makes me think of Christ consciousness, which makes me think of Mary Magdalene. It's a little bit of a stretch. I get it. Just go with me. Okay. So anyway, he's really being brought through the heart space. This beautiful king, he's also 23, which breaks down to 5, which is big change. Hello. If you haven't already been feeling that, oh, goodness gracious, it's coming. For the mid part of this time period, the next 4 to 5, even 6 weeks. Okay. In the middle, somewhere in the middle, this is the beginning of that row, 37, which breaks down to 10. Which is the end of a cycle. So that's beautiful. You've been doing so much healing. You are coming to the end of a cycle. Okay. And you're going to be shifting in the middle of this. A lot of people are getting, shifting energies, but you're going to be shifting right in the middle. Usually they were getting it, at the end, or even at the very beginning, a big shift going on, but you're going to be shifting in the middle. So I would say by the end of August, you're going to go through a shift. Okay. Again, the Maven, shining hope future. You're going to go through a beautiful shift and you're coming to the end of a cycle. And so you're coming out the Lion's Gate, this incredibly sovereign being, and you're really going to be turning a corner in your personal life. That's what I'm getting. In your personal life with not just relationships, but your personal experience, with your, it's like day-to-day life. It's like with yourself kind of, but it's really more about, okay, give me the right words because I'm not able to describe that. If you just look at this card, it's like all the codes, all the, things that that the universe has been giving you, depositing in your energy, it's going to start lighting up and you're going to have access to them. And so this is going to create a big shift because you're suddenly going to have clarity in where you want to go and what you want to create in this world. And it may be nothing what you thought it was. Okay, that's what I'm getting, Sag. And this is very interesting because as I think of this as a reading for myself too, which I don't normally, I don't know why I am this time, but I'm going to try not to, I'm not going to be in my own energy. This is for you. So anyway, the end, we're going to clarify all of this, right, as the story goes on. But at the end, or at the top card, the end of this period, which will be the last week and a half of, or the second week and a half of September, okay? So up to the 15th-ish, 14th, 15th, you have 42. I'm not breaking that down because 42 in and of itself is a very spiritual number. Okay. It's a very divine number. It literally means your life can be whatever you want it to be. It reminds you that you are the co-creator with spirit of your life. Okay. It is you are creating. Create the life you want for God's sake. Okay. Literally, because God is your partner in this. Okay. 42 is the meaning of life. And that is whatever you want it to be. Your life can look like whatever you want it to be. But the card is called bliss. Why not create bliss? Contentment, satisfaction, security. And look at her. This is where you're coming to into September, okay? Is this energy of, I feel like you've been kind of caught up in the chaos, right? You're a fiery energy. You've been caught up in the chaos and the low vibe energy of what's going on in the consciousness, in the collective consciousness, in the world, in the 3D. That is all dying, you guys. Remember, that's all dying away. Stop putting your energy there. Okay. And focus on the life you want. Stop focusing on the shit you don't want and being afraid of it and being angry at it and attacking, right? And focus on the life you want and build this. Like, this looks very peaceful. And I do feel like this came through too for Aries, is like Aries has this, well, I'll just tell you, because you could watch the reading too. Aries has this deep, deep-seated fear of, if they don't have this fighting warrior spirit, if they don't have something to fight for or against, that their lives are going to be incredibly boring. And so I wanted to bring that up because I feel like, okay, a lot of people are going to look at this and go, well, I don't want to just be content all the time. Like, look how That seems boring. But I will tell you that what this is signifying, what this is symbolizing, is that you finally get to rest for a little while. You finally get to be super duper content in your own energy. And that is a long time coming. And I do feel like she looks like she's got a wedding dress on. And so she's resting up. She's preparing herself for the next shift in her path, for the next revelation, for the next aha, for the next, for the next, oh, I just heard ego death. I don't know why, but I'm going to say it. For the next ego death. Like, yes, we're not killing our egos, but we're talking about allowing parts of it that we don't need anymore to die, to fade away, to go away. And we're really, what we're doing is we're transmuting that energy, because we are all alchemists, right? Transmuting that energy and reintegrating it into our own, so that it's not discernible as ego anymore, because we don't need it to be part of the ego. It's a lot of fear. It's a lot of anger. It's a lot of righteousness, right? It's all these things that are no longer serving us anymore. And your life can look like this for a while, right? Like you're literally taking a nap on a bed of roses, waiting, preparing, resting up for what's coming. Not a bad thing, but you're going to be busy, okay? Not boring at all. You're going to let go of this need to engage in the old shit, because you're going to start to see what's coming for you, okay? Let's keep going, because I don't want this to get too long. I say that every time. I just got to stop beating myself up about it, right? Because it's all good stuff. So let's clarify this beautiful King Freyr, because he is amazing. I love that card. I love that bliss card. Like, you guys, you're creating everything in your life. If you want to keep creating the fight, then you will. Except that if you're going to hang out here on Earth in this life right now, while this transformation is going on, it's not sustainable. You're not going to have, pretty soon, you're not going to have anything left to fight. And you're going to realize that what you're really fighting is doing your own deep inner work. That's what you're fighting. You're resisting it. You're denying it. You're ignoring it. I'm not saying you haven't been doing any work, but you are not allowing yourself to look at the deepest, darkest shadows in your energy. Calling you out right now, Sagittarius. Lord, I just called myself out. I know it's true. I know it's true when I think about it. I know it's true. And I love that the 42 came through, because it literally is. I began my awakening at 42. I have started to work on my autobiography because I want to share my story, and I'm calling it 42. I'm literally naming it 42. So I love that that came through. Again, this is my reading too, but it's for you. I hope it's resonating. Let's get clarity on, I'm just going to do all three. Let's get clarity and expansion on all three of these cards, please. Early, mid, late for this time period for Sagittarius and their highest good. I'm not even looking. Oh, yes. Thank you, Spirit. So right after beautiful Freyr, the king, is where you are right now, is this beautiful green man. He's number 34, breaks down to 7. That means really strong guides coming through. It also means you really tuning into your own guidance and trusting yourself, okay, and bringing that divine masculine. He's literally the king. He's another king card in this deck, okay? There are a few of them. He is the king of the forest, I guess, the king of nature. But and then we've got this king. So you really are riding on this sovereign energy, but it's also masculine. So that tells me that you're doing stuff. You're doing stuff, Sagittarius. You may think, oh, I'm not doing enough, and I really want to just do this. I'm telling you, if there's something that you want to do and you just can't, let's say you don't have the resources, you need people, you need whatever you need, and you don't have it yet, then the world is not ready for what you came here to create, okay? The world is not ready for that yet. Excuse me, yeah, so I get confirmation from my digestive system. So don't beat yourself up. You're not doing anything wrong. This is all you gaining clarity of these beautiful things you're going to create before the world is ready for them. And that's on purpose, right? Because we have to start creating them in our energy first, in the feminine. And now you're going to be feeling that kind of fire under your ass to really start bringing them into the physical. And you're going to get to really soon. Okay. I know you will. But we're going to clarify that even more as we go. So after the Mabon, the number 10, the end of the cycle, where you're really going to be accessing these new codes and this big shift. I'm excited about that. Right after that is this is the center card of your grid, okay? And this 9-card grid, what I'm about to show you is the center, right in the middle. Everything is going to emanate from this, okay? Number 18, it's 9, it's an end. Okay, so this is a trend. This is now officially a trend in all these readings for August, because I'll get this beautiful 10, I'll get a 10, which is the end of a cycle, and then I'll get a 9. Because what happens when we go into the next room, right? You've heard me explain this before, where the universe really is, or our ascension journey is, think of it as a mansion. And really every time you evolve, every time you upgrade, every time you have a huge breakthrough, you're just going to the next room. But when you go to that next room, you can never go back. Okay. Not truly. And so what happens is, it's this, when we go into the next room, we still may have some stragglers, some dead weight, some energy that's hanging on that are going to come up into our face now, because they're freaking out because we're in this next room and they can't survive in this next room. So they're trying to find any way they can to get into your energy, and you're going to be able to see them with crystal clarity now. Okay, because it's going to be like so obvious what was going on. It's like people that you couldn't see for their true selves until now. You had to evolve. You had to get to that next room to really see that they are not serving you. Okay, so you're going to see it with clarity. You're going to be able to look at it and you're going to be able to go, no, you don't get to be here anymore. You don't get to be in my energy anymore. And they will either vaporize, they'll disappear, they'll go back to who they belong to. That's probably the most likely, because chances are it's other people's judgment, it's other people's beliefs. And what will happen is they will instantly be returned to their owner, for their owner to process. And chances are their owner is at least a room behind, if not 2. Well, probably just a room behind, because you wouldn't be able to get farther. Okay. So anyway, if you're taking the metaphor as literally as possible. So anyway, this is your anchor card, 18, it's number 9, Elf Struck, Enchanted, Beguiled, and Spelled. I need a minute. I love elves. I absolutely love elves. I think of them as, and she looks like very much kind of like Legolas, right? Like that race of elves that Tolkien created for us. I very much resonate with how they look, how they're very tall and commanding, and they're, very powerful and strong. I don't resonate with the teeny little, although there probably were, right? We're just labeling creatures, right? Who knows what they called themselves. But I definitely resonate with elves looking like this. She's also very Nordic looking. She has silver, very silvery, very shimmery, very kind of blingy without being opulent, right? Like and she's, okay, cool. That's what I needed to see. So she just, if you see what she's holding down here, that's not her dress. That is actually a mask that she has just pulled down and is holding right here over her heart space. So this is coming on the heels of this 10. This is perfection, you guys. The end of the cycle, you've just stepped into the next room, but you're still hanging back, right? You're not going to get a number 1 until you're not only in the room, but you're like owning that room, right? You're not a wallflower anymore. So you're hanging back still, and that's fine. That's part of the process, right? We become observers. We observe. We're observing the new energy where there likely aren't, a lot of times when we upgrade and move to the next room, there's no one we know in this room, right? And so we're like, shit, I don't know anybody. I'm going to stay back against the wall. And then you slowly integrate yourself into this group, right? Just in time to move to the next room again, right? And sometimes people go with us, right? Sometimes they're right ahead, right behind, whatever, and we know people when we get there. But what I wanted to say about this is that, as I was saying, you're going to start really seeing people for who they are. And that's why this kind of 10 to 9, right? This is seemingly backwards, but it's really just the stuff that is trying to go through with you on your energy, feeding off of your energy, that you're going to be able to not see anymore. And so that's why the mask coming off. You're going to see people and jobs and situations with more crystal clarity than ever before, because the mask will have come off of these things. They won't be able to hide anymore in your energy. They're going to be blatant. They're going to be right here. They're going to be shimmery. They're going to shine. They're going to reflect. They're going to blind you, right? They're going to be right here, and you will not be able to ignore them. And you'll be able to go, you go back to who you belong to. Bye-bye. Okay, that's that. That's your anchor. That's interesting, because the mask is coming off. So your anchor card is all about the mask is coming off for you and for your clarity and seeing other people without their masks on, your job without its mask, without its illusion, if there is one, right? If you are trying to talk yourself into loving your job, when this mask comes off, you're going to see it for what it really is, okay? Situations you're in, relationships you're in, okay? It just doesn't matter. It's everything, everything. And I love her. There's a message too in the way her hair is kind of like, this is one of my favorite. I love kind of a messy, haphazard, half thrown up, kind of just like absent-minded hairdo. And I know, like, this probably in reality would take hours and hours on end, but it looks effortless. Remember that. So it's going to, but oh boy, okay. It is effortless. That's why. We make things so much more complicated than they need to be. This is effortless. If you've ever had that experience where you spend hours and hours on your hair and it just will not look good, then you do something with it without even looking in a mirror really quick to get it out of your face or whatever, and you happen to walk by a mirror and you're like, holy shit, I look amazing. How did I do that? That's what I'm talking about. Okay, this is easier than you think. This whole process is easier than you think it is. Let's switch back to the Magdalene deck. We've got 6 cards now. We're going to get the last 3 clarifying. We're going to fill in these last holes. Oh, I didn't show you this one yet. Okay, so coming in after the 42 is another 2. So you got 42 and 2, which is amazing. 2 is the divine feminine number. Look how beautiful she is. Her white skin really shows to me purity coming through, your purity coming through as you're healing all this baggage. We are pure, okay, no matter what you've been through in your life. All right, think of yourself as a born-again virgin if you want. That's what this energy is coming through as, is just kind of a brand new you, brand new life, brand new energy, brand spanking new, clean slate is what's coming through, okay? Healer, nourishment, nurture, yeah. So you're coming in after this, like you're remembering, okay, yeah, I'm creating this. I can create what I want. You're creating a period of kind of not hermiting necessarily, but preparation for what's coming. Okay. You're preparing yourself. You're taking care of yourself. This is self-care, but it's not like the deep self-care that we need during dark nights of the soul, right? This is more like, okay, I'm going to really cultivate, I'm going to really nourish myself and take care of myself, maybe even get away for a little while, go to a spa, go on a retreat. Okay. But what you're doing is you're shifting your day-to-day schedule into more you. Okay. So you're getting up and you're meditating every day. You're doing yoga. And this is something that you've just not been able to do before. You're going to be able to do it now. You're going to be able to shift your life, your daily schedule into more self-care automatically. Beginning the day with self-care, doing it throughout the day, ending the day with self-care. But again, it's not going to be because you're in a dark place. It's going to be because you know that you want to be as ready as you possibly can be for the exciting stuff coming, the big party coming. And so this coming through 2 is also, it's a divine feminine, but it's also a number that talks about you really embodying your highest self, okay? Trusting your higher self, trusting your intuition, trusting your own, intuition, trusting yourself. Okay, so it's about self-trust. It's about kind of what I'm seeing is kind of a shifting up into that your next higher self. Okay, and what happens when we shift, when we embody, when we integrate our higher self, that next higher self pops in, right? Or we have access to that next higher self. Excuse me, my body is confirming that. Because we're going to have a higher self until it's source, until the higher self is source, literally, right? And yes, we are all source. I don't need comments about that. I'm talking about the way we visualize this journey, right? Where it's just aspects of us. It's just, some people actually think of it as a future self, right? Coming back to help yourself. Really, there is no past or present. There is no past or future, right? It is only right now. But it's the higher selves. Every higher self has a higher self until we get to source, right? And so you're going to get access to that next higher self because you're really going to be, and this, even though this is the picture, I feel like the words on this go with this picture because the words on this are healer, nourishment, nurture. You're really going to be nurturing yourself. And guess what happens when we actually nurture ourselves, take care of ourselves, really put ourselves first every day, is you start to really, that opens up your gifts. that automatically opens up, amplifies, helps you really step into your gifts and abilities. And so you're really going to be expanding your intuitive gifts, your spiritual gifts, your practitioner gifts, whatever you want to do here. You know, like I do past life healing. I do Akashic records. I do a twin flame healing. You know, I do just these readings. I do personal readings. All that information is linked down below, but it's really about you tuning into you. Okay. Because you're going to be clicking up, you know, you're going to be stepping up the ladder one rung and stepping into that next higher self and becoming that higher self, integrating that higher self. You're going to really feel good about it too. All right. So let's get the last clarification. Oh, good. We're not too bad time-wise. Let's get the last clarification, the last row. All right. That one didn't want to. Is that on? Oh my goodness. I need to turn my fan on. I'm warm. I always get warm when I'm doing these, when I'm doing any kind of sessions or readings. I get very warm. Okay. So all three at once. Let's get the last three cards for the grid, please, for this story for Sagittarius in their highest good. All right. Yeah. There's always a break somewhere, and I try to not succumb to the break, but we'll see. Okay, so beautiful. So what we've got on this first row, we've got the king, Freya, right? And then we've got more divine masculine energy. Just really, you're really bringing that through and starting to act on the things you've been cultivating and creating within the feminine, right? Feminine energy is very introspective, very internal, very inward. You know, it's the void, it's the darkness. And then the masculine is bringing it out into the light, right? Is having the courage to do that. Then you've got divine order. That is incredible. Like this, what's coming through for me is you really tapping into your divine blueprint, because you have cracked away, you have chipped away at so much of the armor that you wore your whole life, right? You know who I'm talking to. Talking to you. You have worn armor, and you just would add on, you just would strengthen that armor every day, every month, every year. You would make that armor thicker, stronger, more durable, more, you know, keep everybody out, right? But we also, because you're not aware, you're letting all the crap in that can affect you. You know, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because we had armor, but it wasn't keeping the right stuff out, right? It was keeping the stuff out that we needed and letting the stuff in that was keeping us feeling drained, okay? And even sick sometimes. And so you're really tapping into your divine blueprint here. Like, this is you just becoming. A lot of this reading is really talking about you becoming you. You know, really shedding everything that's not you. And it's going with the old matrix and the old energy, right? It's going. Let it go. Let it go. And I feel like you're going to have, like, you're just not going to, you're not going to hold on anymore. You're too tired, Sag. I know you are. I know you are. We are too tired to hold on anymore. So it's time to surrender and trust. It's time to really trust that this whole journey is in our highest good, that everything is rooting for us to succeed, to not fall back into another prison matrix. We're not doing that, Sag. We're not doing that, I promise. Magdalene is if you have not connected with her as an ascended master, oh my God. Ermagerd, as my 25-year-old would say. Ermagerd, do it right now. Connect to Mary Magdalene. Connect to the Mother Mary. She is a very strong guide for me. I am much more connected to her. Not that I don't love the Magdalene, but the Great Mary, the Mother Mary, is my girl. Right? She's been coming to me since I was a very small child in visions, and just bringing maternal love to me when I needed it the most, you know, when I was lacking in that, and showing me too that is my mission largely, is bringing maternal love into the world. Okay. This unconditional love from a mother. That's what I'm doing. And so tune into MM, because man, You will not be sorry. So then you go in from this divine order, tuning into your divine blueprint. You're going to be cracking it open. I feel like you're like cracking open the safe here because you're finally allowing that masculine to come through. Yes, Sagittarius is a very masculine, fiery energy already. You've been denying it. You've been pushing it down. You've been, oh, I need to heal this. I need to heal that. And I can't act on anything yet. Now it's time to really get out there, right? And so that's what's going to crack. You crack the code. The safe is now open for your divine blueprints are in there. Okay. Reach in and grab them and start living by that. Okay. And then you've got all these beautiful codes that you can now access because you're coming to the end of a cycle. And then you're going to feel like, remember, you're going to feel like, well, it's going to be the mask coming off of all these things in your life. Okay. And they're going to reveal their true selves. And it's not just people. Okay. Places you might move because a place is going to, maybe you're waiting for a sign. I feel like if a lot of you might be waiting for a sign on not necessarily moving physically house to house, but moving away from a relationship. You're waiting for like this big sign. This is it. Okay. You're going to see everything for what it truly is. And if it's serving you or not, and you're just going to know. Okay. And you're going to be able to go, okay, I can't have you in my life anymore. Whether it's a job, whether it's where you live, whether it's a person. Okay. It just doesn't matter. That mask, all their masks are coming off. This is also the anchor card of your reading. And so it also is showing you that you are taking off your mask once and for all. And there's no more pretending, no more apologizing for being you. Okay. You are unapologetically stepping into you because then you've got past lives. Is what came through at the end of this row. And I want to look at that because I feel like the words maybe aren't what we're looking for. I do feel like this is a very, very similar to the Magdalene. I have to sneeze. So when it comes, you'll know. But it's a very, it's a very feminine card. It's a very feminine energy. I feel like what this more is saying is, that was a terrible sentence structure and I apologize. I'm ashamed of that sentence structure. I'm sure I say a lot of crazy things that don't make any sense. But if you read them in a book, you'd go, what did they just type? So coming after this, this unmasking, right, is your energy then is going to allow, yes, there's past life healing, but I feel like you've done a lot of that already. There's ancestral healing. There's divine feminine lineage. There's feminine, mother to grandmother. You've healed that whole line. You've been doing a lot of that work as well. What this is coming to me as is more of those, that healing is taking place. You're just allowing more feminine. Okay. Yeah, show me what's going on here. Yeah, you're allowing more divine women into your life who are where you're at, okay? And this is women and men, okay? So if you're a man embodying mostly divine masculine energy, you're going to allow more men and women with very prominent divine feminine energy into your life, which you're going to need to help you balance, okay? If you're a woman, you're going to be getting more soul sisters coming in. And this was coming through for Leo as well, is the soul family coming in for the collaborations, for the joint missions, to build all of these healing centers that we all want to build. We all want our own, retreats, right? Retreat centers. But we also want, we want these new communities where there's a community garden where everybody takes care of each other, where it's just a very symbiotic life, right? And so that is it's a very maternal energy. I'm getting as I was talking about Mother Mary, that's what I'm getting from this, is a very motherly energy. Although it doesn't, it's not necessarily Mother Mary. There is a Mother Mary card in this deck, but this is just very feminine, very feminine. You're going to be allowing, because of all this healing you're doing and the unmasking, right? you're going to be allowing more femininity in general into your life, more unconditional love, more like you're emanating it. Yes. But so because you're emanating it, because you're learning to shift your consciousness down into your heart space more on a daily basis, right? If you're not doing that, set an intention to do that every day. You're going to be calling in that energy also externally from other people, places, things. You're going to be attracting more unconditional love, more compassion. You're just going to be pulling that in. Because I'm just not getting a past life. The words, we're just going to ignore those. So then it comes to 42, the meaning of life. It is whatever you want it to be, but it's also a time of preparation, of taking care of yourself, of shifting your daily schedule to taking care of yourself from morning to night. Yes, fulfill your responsibilities throughout the day, but take time throughout the day to take care of yourself. You're going to feel really good about this because you're going to be preparing for what's coming. And what's coming is this beautiful, just really stepping into you. I mean, you get, when we engage in really deep and intentional and powerful self-care, we really get to know ourselves. Like, you find out things about yourself that you had forgotten, that you legit did not know. You're like, holy shit, I guess I am like that, or I do that, or I have this trauma, or I have this baggage, or I have this belief. You really get to know each other. And so this is you stepping into you more confidently and allowing your purity to come through. Like, her white skin is just purity coming through, the light shining within you. Okay. She maybe kind of looks like the undead, but that's the message I'm getting. And she's just very sure. Like she's like, just definitely yeah. Like, it's almost like she is just on the verge of cracking a smile. Like, when I stare at her, she's like, no, I'm not going to, you can't make me. You can't make me. I'm not going to smile. I'm very serious. I'm taking this very seriously. I really want to be me. But inside, she's very balanced and centered and aligned with her own energy. Okay. This has got nothing to do with other people, because we have to align in here first, right? So when we align in here first, this is your end card, Sagittarius. So what message do you want to take from this? This is definitely divine counterpart. Okay. This is not just the whole card in general. There is no energy coming through of the balance within, except that this entire story grid is speaking of that, of you doing the inner work, of you really tuning into yourself, balancing yourself, allowing your divine masculine to come through your heart space, marrying it with the divine feminine. And that is the work that allows the divine counterpart to come through. Or if you're already with your person, right, it's going to deepen this relationship. Okay. On a whole, off the hizzook, you guys, off the chain, whole new level. You're not going to believe where it goes. Okay. And this is September 15th, by September 15th. Okay. This is going to happen fast. Okay. If you're not in the market for love, if you don't feel like a divine counterpart is in your contract, then this is just going to be a very beautiful relationship that you have. Okay. Maybe not long-term, but it's going to be lovely. You're going to really enjoy it. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. What was I saying earlier? Why do we deny? Oh, I don't know. I think I was saying that in the last reading in Leo. I think I was talking about how we deny our physical bodies feeling good. Was that in this reading? Everything's running together, you guys. Anyway, we have physical bodies. We have shame around doing things that make them feel good. That is fucking ridiculous. Enough of that. Enough of that shit. Do this, right? What else can I say? Like, how beautiful is this? Let me be Vanna for a minute. I want like a huge poster of this and to hang it on my wall. Like, I just think this is the most beautiful picture ever. And who wouldn't want this, right? I mean, obviously don't put too much stock in the genders, right? Whatever you're attracted to. This is sacred sexuality. This is learning to channel your sexual energy for creation purposes, not just babies, right? But, women, our womb space is our superpower. Our womb space is where we create. Our womb space is our creation center, literally and spiritually and emotionally and energetically, okay? It's where all of our beautiful creations that are truly divine feminine come from. And so it's cultivating that sexual energy. It's allowing ourselves to be sexual, right? Because we have been made to feel ashamed of being women. We have been made to feel ashamed of our womanly bodies, of our parts, of our post-baby bodies. Oh my God, every woman is so beautiful. We have no idea, right? We just deny ourselves that. We deny ourselves physical pleasure because, we're ashamed of it. And we deny ourselves, loving our bodies because there's always something we're ashamed of in there, always. And that's societal shit. That's ancestral shit. That's baggage that we don't need anymore. And so this is talking about a huge, huge healing. As you're stepping more into you, fucking go, girl. I mean, this is what's coming. This is the last card of your story grid, for the next 4 to 5-ish weeks. This is where you're going. So you got this beautiful king, this divine masculine coming through. You're going to be acting. You're going to be assertive. You're going to be in a positive way. You're going to be taking charge of your life. You're going to be taking charge of your healing journey. And just to confirm it, we had another divine masculine king come through, right? Another really divine masculine energy coming through, So, you just want to stare at that for a minute. It's fine with me. Just, yeah. Okay. So what I want to do is I'm going to also with the Magdalene deck is get kind of a final message from your guides. And then we'll get a little message from the cosmos. But let's get a final message from your guides, maybe a wrap up energy, something, let's get something. I'm just looking at the 4 cards that I pulled from this deck so far, and they're all very similar, a lot of sacral energy coming through, a lot of healing of the womb space and allowing that womb space to be powerful again. Okay. You got this. Let's get a final message from your guides, Sagittarius, in your highest good. I feel like, okay, no, I don't want that. Okay. Yeah. Oh my God. Like, hello, just confirmation. You are co-creating. 42, baby. Co-creation from your heart space. Okay. Just remember, try to get to a point, try to get to a place where every day you set an intention. Okay. I'm going to live from my heart today. And then every time you engage with someone, anytime you respond, right? We don't want to react, right? We want to respond. If you feel like you might react, then get out of here, get out of the monkey mind and go down into the heart space. Okay. Just like this card is showing, like living from here. Unconditional love is vital right now. We're not going to master it overnight, but we have to do the work. Okay. We have to do the work to really uncover it because that's what we are. We're made of unconditional love. That's all we are. That's the only thing that really exists. Okay. Is love, pure unconditional love, not love with baggage. All right. So try to get to a place where you're every day, set that intention. And then every time you're engaging with someone, just again, in your head, okay, I'm going to respond no matter what they say. I'm going to respond from my heart. And that could actually mean not responding at all and walking away. Okay. Remember that, like, there is no reason to engage to feed your ego anymore. That served you for a time, but remember, we're going through some ego transition here, right? As you step more into you, we don't need that ego to be as strong. Okay. That ego is going to start shedding its coats and baggage and trauma as well. And that energy is going to be transmuted within our own energy because it's our stuff, right? That we transmuted or that we kind of turned into a defense mechanism, but we're going to be transmuting that and reintegrating that energy because our ego is part of us. Okay. As long as we have physical bodies, we need an ego. We're not trying to kill it. We're just trying to reintegrate it to be one again. So that I tell my ego that whenever I talk to it, I'm like, I'm not going anywhere without you. I can't do this without you. Okay. You're part of me. I am part of you. We are one. Okay. We're on this journey together. So let's work together. You know your place. I know I'm the boss, right? You're not the boss anymore. I let you be the boss for 42 years. And you hated it. You hated every minute of it, but you did your best and you got me there. Thank God my ego got me there. I don't know how, but she did. So anyway, yeah, my heart is just kind of, there's a deep, deep ache right now. Like it's starting to open. Because remember, this is my reading too. So yeah, just a reminder, just a confirmation. This is coming through twice, right? About this, remembering that you are not doing this by yourself. You are co-creating your reality, and it can be whatever you want it to be. Okay. It can be bliss. It can be napping on a bed of roses, wearing a wedding dress, and just looking like an angel. I mean, seriously, that looks like Rachel McAdams. How beautiful she is. Reminds me of Rachel McAdams. I like to see like familiar faces in these. It's kind of funny. So yeah, that's a beautiful card. And you got butterflies all over it. Rebirth, seriously. Everybody's going through that. Every shift we make feels like a rebirth now, right? Just remember the deaths. Allow yourself to grieve the deaths. Okay, now I'm going to pull that final message from the cosmos from this deck. I don't remember if I mentioned this at the beginning. It was 45 minutes ago. It was a long time ago, you guys. I don't remember. And this is my third reading today, so I'm not positive. But this is a deck made by a dear friend and soul sister of mine called the Illuminate deck. It feels like recycled cardboard. It's beautiful to hold. It's beautiful to shuffle. And it has very simple messages on it, which I absolutely love. Simple yet profound messages. Okay, so let's pull a final message from the cosmos. Just give us something, universe, in Sagittarius's highest good. Let's just get a beautiful message to wrap this up. I allow myself to receive love. I feel like that's going along with this too. Like, allow yourself, even if you're not in the market for a divine counterpart, let's say, allow yourself to have a companion. I don't know how to say that without sounding like go out and fuck somebody. I don't know how to say it. I allow myself to receive love. If you have someone in your life that you've been pushing away because you know they're not a divine counterpart, but you might just have a really good time. You might just have a really positive, soul-feeding, vibration raising experience with them. Put it to your heart, put it to the test, put it in your heart and ask your heart space. Ask you're integrating your higher self right now. And you're about halfway up in there. So talk to her, say, okay, should I pursue this? And I feel like, so I don't know why this is coming through as romantic love, probably because we're on the heels of this, right? Let's just stare at that again for a minute. Why not? Okay. Anyway, I allow myself to receive love. This is not just from people, right? Allow yourself to receive love from the cosmos. Remember we talked about the shame around being a woman. Allow yourself to receive that divine feminine love, because there is nothing for you to be ashamed of about this body. Okay, about that body. Women and men, right? There's a divine feminine. There's shame within men around the divine feminine because of the repression and suppression and the way that we have been treated. And yes, it's gotten a crap ton better, but we still have carried that energy through of, well, we're not men, right? Oh, well, we're not. There are certain things we're like, well, we can't run a country. There are people who still carry that energy. Okay. And we're carrying it as a collective. So if it angers you, when you think of that there might be men and women who think women aren't as good at running things. Women aren't as good as being the boss as men. If that angers you, then you're carrying it too for the collective. Okay. If it triggers you, then you are carrying it in your energy. Okay. We're letting all that go. Okay. I allow myself to receive love and heal that shame. That's all I want to say. Sagittarius, we did it. Under an hour. Woo. Okay. I'm so proud of you. So remember, I just want to remind you, this is your overall energy, very divine feminine, but also an ascended master for you to tune into, a guide for you to tune into. I'm going to do that tonight. I'm going to do it when I go to bed here. It's after 1. I'm definitely going to tune into her and maybe both Marys. And, this king coming through and, with the queen, and you got this king And I don't know what else. What else did you get? Just lots of, like your overall message is, damn, you are going to be really just unapologetically and courageously and without hesitation, just fucking stepping right into you. Okay, that's what you're doing in the next 4 to 5-ish weeks. And it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Go on with your bad self. Do it. Right? Don't hesitate. If you know something is right for you, damn everybody else. Damn what everybody else says. I always tell people, we even have to let go of what, like we think about like moving or making big changes that will affect other people. You have to let go of being responsible for how they'll respond to that. If there is something that you need to do for you, but it's going to ripple out to other people, you have to let go of that responsibility. Yes, it's going to ripple out to other people, but they probably need it. Okay. They need you to rock the boat for them to be able to heal on their journey as well, whatever's coming up. Okay. They need you to do that for them. They need you to be a mirror. They need you to trigger them. They need you to live unapologetically to follow your heart no matter what. Because when they see you doing it, then they'll have the courage to do it. It's all about living by example. Okay. You don't even have to teach them how to do it. They're going to watch you do it and go, I want that. I want to leave. I want to move. I want to quit my job. I want to walk away from this toxic relationship. I want to let go of most of my biological family. A lot of people are doing that because our biological family have served their purpose in a big way. Okay. And they're not serving us anymore. Not every single one of them, but largely the biological family is not meant to be soul family. I'm not saying everybody, right? We have people like that will always be connected to, and you likely have soulmates within your family, but not very many, right? 1, maybe 2. And I have a huge family, and I'm telling you, no, none of them are soul family. None of them. Not a one. So it's hard. It's a hard journey. Anyway, I'm going to shut up because I'm way off on a tangent now. I love you, Sagittarius. Watch your sun, moon, rising, and Venus. Like, subscribe, share. Please share my channel or this video with anybody you think that might resonate, that might benefit from it. Yeah, if you want to buy this deck, the link is below. It's beautiful. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous deck. And when I'm looking just for a very direct, simple message, I pull out this deck. It's just amazing. There is also information if you want to work with me one-on-one. I do a lot of things. I'm also an essential oil alchemist. I do custom blends for whatever's ailing you or whatever challenge you're going through, if that calls to you. Okay, I do a lot. What else was I going to link? I can't remember. I said I was going to link something. I don't remember. Anyway, I'll figure it out. I don't know. If you want to generate your chart in the 13 Zodiac system, there's a link for that. And so just kind of skim through the description box because there's a lot of links and there's just a lot of information, but it's a lot of good stuff. Okay. So I will see you next month, Sagittarius. Just start owning your fiery selves. All right. And I love you. Thank you.